Welcome to the Bible in Focus channel. What is your vision of paradise? Do you believe that such a place exists? If so, is it a place of ethereal light and music, or choirs worship the divinity in a setting of breathtaking beauty and elaborate architecture? Do you imagine dazzling displays of gold and silver with an array of countless precious stones? That is paradise. Certainly true to some extent, but it is not the complete picture. You will discover secrets never revealed before and get a real understanding of what the third heaven is like. So you can't miss a second of the video and should watch it until the end. Don't forget to take a second of your time to like and subscribe to the channel. Perhaps you see the sky as the inner surface of a large concave dome that stretches over the entire Earth. As the edge of the dome approaches the horizon, it sometimes gives the impression that it won't reach, but it never fails to cover the Earth below it. Almost all inhabitants of the Earth have a certain impression of the sky. As we contemplate the vast possibilities, we need to keep in mind that various terms are used to describe paradise. The singular noun heaven emphasizes its general unity. Others, like heavens or heavenly places, seem to refer to its various aspects or parts. These terms suggest several different regions, all combined under the title paradise. These places may be delivered at different times to different beings and different activities. This passage indicates that there are 3 heavens in total, one immediately above the other. The highest is what Paul describes as the third heaven, place of paradise and the personal dwelling place of God, the most sacred place in the universe. It is passages like this that give us the concept often associated with paradise of purity or holiness. The words spoken there are so sacred that they cannot be repeated outside of it. Paradisos, paradise, is the Greek word for garden and represents God's garden in paradise. Paradise is the final destination of all sinners who truly repented and persevered in the life of faith. Almost all inhabitants of the earth have an impression of paradise. The book of Revelation presents us with an area called the mid-heaven or mid-paradise. As far as I know, this describes some sort of large area into which different kinds of beings come and go. The following verses describe various powerful beings who proclaim themselves from the mid-paradise. Greek word used for the mid-paradise is mesoranima, which means precisely that, the mid-paradise. This could be the second heaven. We can finally assume that the visible paradise, the one visible to our natural sight, is the first heaven. All inhabitants of the earth are familiar with this paradise to some degree. And what about the inhabitants of paradise? What kind of creatures are they? The most common name given to them is angels. The word angel is derived from the Greek noun angelos, which is the standard word for messenger. Therefore, angels are considered messengers sent from paradise. However, not all angels are messengers. They have various other potential functions. Regardless of their tasks, they are sent by God to fulfill His purposes. However, Scripture informs us that there are also evil angels sent by Satan to fulfill his purposes. Sometimes there may be opposition or conflicts between God's angels and Satan's angels. Some of these conflicts are described in Scripture, especially in the book of Daniel. The inescapable fact that confronts us is that our world as we know it today is a scene of conflict. Moreover, this conflict is not confined to earth. It is also a vital factor in everything that happens in paradise. The angels sent by God have 3 main tasks. First, as already mentioned, they are messengers of God. Secondly, they are agents of God sent to protect those who may be in danger. Typically, these are described as guardian angels. In this verse, Jesus speaks of children who have angels in the heavens who continually see the face of the Father. By implication, the Father's watchful gaze directs these angels to potentially vulnerable children. The third category includes warrior angels, who engage in conflicts with other angels. Many Christians believe that paradise is a place of unbroken peace and harmony, elegance and worship. This may be true of the third heaven, but it does not apply to the first 2 heavens. Some scriptures paint a different picture of what is currently happening in the second heaven. As already mentioned, it is sometimes the scene of great conflict between warrior angels, some serving God and others Satan, primarily in the heavenly region. This conflict is also where Satan pours out a stream of defamatory accusations against Christians on earth who serve the Lord. He is described by the angel as the accuser of our brethren who accused them before our God day and night. This scripture continues to foresee that Satan will be cast out of paradise. But until that happens, it is clear that he still occupies a place somewhere in the heavens and fills the air with malicious accusations against God's people. The following verse is a warning to the inhabitants of the earth about what they can expect when the devil is finally cast out of paradise to earth. These verses anticipate a period when Satan will have little time, and this may well be near, but it has not yet been fulfilled. Certainly, the events described have not yet been fulfilled, so we must be realistic about Satan's current activities. Many Christians habitually speak as if Satan is confined to hell. This is not true. There are two satanic princes called Death and Hades who rule in hell, but Satan himself roams freely throughout the universe. This is clearly depicted in the book of Job. Many Christians habitually speak as if Satan is confined to hell. This is not true. The main difference between earth and paradise is that this world has been corrupted by sin. Heaven has not. Man's sin permeates the earth, and God's glory perfects paradise. God, the glory of paradise, created the earth and gave it to the human race to care for and enjoy. Instead of obeying God's instructions regarding the things of the earth, Adam and Eve decided to listen to Satan. Their disobedience, their rebellion against God, separated them from communion with God. Adam and Eve's sin and disobedience left a lasting legacy of sin and iniquity on the entire human race. However, God has a perfect plan. In His perfect love, God sent His Son, Jesus Christ, to redeem the earth and its inhabitants and restore them to communion with God. Jesus is the centerpiece of God's redemption. May heavenly peace find everyone.